go ahead and see that. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Anderson and Mrs. Fry, two of the dopest teachers in the school.
Thank you, Miss Fry, for making class fun and entertaining.
You're the best, Miss Fry.
Thank you, Osborne, Hayes, Ziegler, and Meters for all the support in performing this.
I'd like to thank my parents, my coaches, and Patrick Grady.
I just want to say thank you to my family, my friends, my teachers, and coaches for all your love and support.
Thank you, Dr. Ayers, for introducing me to a new level of academia. I now know more about Ta-Nehisi Coates than I will ever want to in my life, but I know how to write an annotated bibliography. Oh, and thanks, Moran. Poetry is pretentious. I get it.
I'd like to thank my parents and my coaches and all my teachers for the past 4 years and everything that they've taught me.
I'd thank all my friends and family for helping me through the way. I'd like to say thank you to all my classmates for all the good times and all the memories.
I'd like to thank my family for everything they've done for me throughout high school.
Thank you, Mr. Annis, for teaching us yoga.
I would like to thank Mr. Goodluck and Miss Newland for helping me throughout the years.
Thank you, Neff.
We'd like to thank
Mrs. Rubus for pushing us to the limit.
I'd like to thank my parents for all their support over these last 4 years.
I want to give a shout out to my teachers and my parents for helping me make it through high school in only 4 years.
Thank you.
To my parents and Mr. Neff.
To Mr. D, Mrs. Ennis and Mr. Schmucker.
To my family, Mr. Neff and Mrs. Collins.
Thank you for being our motivators and our mentors.
Thank you to Mr. Moran and Mrs. Ennis for teaching me more in my high school career than anyone else ever has.
I'd like to thank my family for supporting me throughout high school.
Thanks to our wonderful teachers, especially for putting up with guys like us.
I want to thank my family, friends, teachers, directors, and coaches for supporting me these past 4 years. Thank you.
Thank you to our parents for helping us get through high school.
And shout out to Mrs. Fry.
I'd just like to thank my parents for encouraging me through high school.
I want to say thank you to all the teachers that teach me and also my parents.
I want to thank my family for always supporting me.
Thanks to the Foreign Language Department.
Thanks to Senora Bruce. Thanks to Gal Ocean for teaching us about foreign culture.
I want to thank my teachers and my parents too.
We'd like to thank our family and friends, our teachers, especially Mrs. Osborne,
And our coaches, especially Courtney and Cece, for being the best.
I want to thank my parents and my coaches for always going on with me.
I just want to say thanks to Marlis and Bridget for being the best attendance ladies out there.
Thanks, Mom and Dad, for supporting me.
Yeah, thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
I just want to thank Miss Flora for helping me through a rough patch that I had my junior year.
We would like to thank Mr. Grady for
Helping us think things through.
We would like to thank our friends and family for making us who we are today. And shout out to Senora Bruce. Es nuestra favorita.
I'd like to thank Mr. Grady for teaching me how to prepare for the real world and college.
Thanks, Coach Anderson, for teaching me social studies.
Thank you to Coach Lewis for getting me better and helping me bench all of them.
Thank you, Miss Collins,
And Miss McIntosh.
for making our journey through high school 100 times better.
I just want to say thank you to Miss McKinney for helping me graduate.
Hey, Mr. Anderson, shouts out to you for being my teacher for 2 years. Thanks a lot for being a great teacher.
I would like to thank Mrs. Wanziger, Mrs. Hendricks, Ms. Asmussen, and many other teachers for all the time they invested in helping me and just spending time with me.
I would like to thank Mr. Corey and Ms. Malone for always being enthusiastic during class.
We'd like to thank our parents, family, and friends for being supportive of us.
And I'd like to thank Mrs. Miller for teaching me life lessons that help me and benefit me in my future, and Coach Hoyer for helping me learn self-dedication.
I'd like to thank Mr. Corey for allowing me to express my creativity by painting on his wall.
I'd like to thank Dr. A Squared, Mrs. Lindo, and Mr. Young for being so supportive and being probably some of the best teachers that I've ever encountered. Your classes were hard, they were interesting, and they were amazing, and I really appreciate all the work that you guys did. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Mr. Tully for putting up with my sisters and I for the past 4 years. Gracias, Senor Harder, por hacernos sonreír todos los días.
I'd like to thank the family for coming out here from Connecticut.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson, and thank you, Mrs. McKinney, for helping me out through the entire way of high school.
I'd like to thank Dr. Ayers for always supporting me and my family for being there for me throughout high school, and Maddie's family as well for
also being a good support system throughout the 4 years.
I'd like to thank my family for always supporting me. I'd like to thank Emily's family for always providing me with food. And I'd like to thank Harry Styles.
Thanks, Mr. Tolley, for dealing with my morning crankiness.
Quick shout out to Mr. Anderson for being the best teacher in Kennedy.
I want to say thank you to Barry for letting me join the electric art team and letting me race, and I want to thank my family for always supporting me.
I'd like to thank my friends and family for helping me get through high school because I wouldn't be here without them.
I'm thanking Mr. Anderson and Ms. Miller for being great teachers.
I'd like to thank all my teachers and coaches who made these 4 years a lot of fun.
We would like to thank Mr. Labs.
We appreciate everything you've done for us, and we wish you good luck in the future.
DOB for life. I want to thank my mom, dad, Nicole, and Allison for being the best supportive system I had through high school.
I'd like to thank my Chinese teacher, Gala Shi, for these last 4 years. I hope you had a really happy retirement. And I'm also like to thank Mr. Ferrante for hosting some of the most intense Monopoly games I've ever had in my entire life. So thank you guys.
I want to say thanks to my friends, basketball program at Kennedy, the Kennedy basketball coaches.
Thank you, Coach Anderson, for teaching me how to be a man.
Shout out Kendall Dooley for his dreads and letting me have one.
Thanks for not becoming an accountant. We love you, Zig!
Thank you, Dr. Ayers, for leading me to love writing.
I'd like to thank Mr. Corey. He's always been like the best teacher I had, and he was just a really great guy. He gets me. And thank you to my parents for being the best team of supporters ever.
Shout out to Mr. Anderson for being the realest teacher I ever had, and my family for helping me along the way.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad, my brother and sisters, just for helping me out.
I'm thanking Mrs. Fry for being great teachers and supporting everyone.
Thank you, Gala, Shit, and Ms. Fry.
I would like to thank my mom for leading me in the right direction to get through high school.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. You're really great help, great teacher, funny guy. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank all my AP teachers for teaching me time management and helping me prepare for college.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad for helping me be a good student.
I'd like to thank Miss Osborne for being a mediocre speech coach these past 4 years. No, she's been great. And for teaching me all the things I need to know to go on into the fine arts in college. Don't let this get to your head, though.
Thank you, Lord Lewis, for blessing me with these games.
Thank you to my friends and family for helping me get through high school.
We just want to thank Mrs. Osborne for always being there for us and making these last 4 years enjoyable.
Yeah, she's really a mentor to us all these years.
She really helped me grow my confidence over the past 4 years, and through speech and class with her, she really kept me alive.
I'd like to thank my teachers for allowing me to come in and finish everything I could so I could graduate as I am.
I'd just like to say thank you to my parents and my grandparents for keeping me motivated throughout high school.
We'd like to thank Marlis and Labs for being the friendliest faces at Kennedy.
I'd like to thank Coach White for teaching me how to believe in myself.
I'd like to thank my golf coach, Coach Walden. Thank you for encouraging me at all times and making sure that I was always improving.
We'd like to thank our parents for helping us out in the last 4 years of high school.
Thank you, Mr. Wacker and Miss Fleer.